what's going on? Welcome to or welcome back to the channel. Today I want to do something a little bit different, and I want to speak in defense of 7 and 8 string guitars, which I pretty much play. Well, no, pretty much. I play them exclusively. So this is somewhat in response to a comment that I've seen recently, and I've seen it a few times. Basically, someone was saying that a lot of the gear YouTubers nowadays are either tuned down to drop Z or playing 8, 9, and 10 string guitars and all that sort of stuff. And I just wanted to kind of nip some of that in the bud. One of the things that a lot of people assume about a person when they see a 7 or 8 string guitar is that they're just going to only chug on the lowest strings, that they're tuned down super low, or that they're just a gent guy, whatnot. Some of that stuff applies to me, some of it doesn't. Ultimately, people who've been following me on this channel for a while and pay attention to my playing know for sure that I like metal, pretty much everything from thrash onwards, and really before that with like the Iron Maiden and the Ozzy Osbourne. For a little bit, Ozzy Osbourne was my favorite band. Randy Rhoads was my favorite guitar player. That progressed over time. I followed a very natural progression from there into the Megadeths, which is still one of my favorite bands, and then from there the metalcore stuff, and eventually heavier stuff like Lamb of God and all that. And then eventually, now, yes, Monuments is my favorite band, and John Brown and Ollie Steele are my favorite guitar players. They're quote-unquote gent guitarists, but John Brown in particular, he pretty much idolizes Metallica. He's a huge Metallica fan, and he's just took some of that stuff, like James's ridiculous right-hand picking, and he's also a big Meshuggah fan, and kind of wrapped some of that stuff into each other. But anyway, I say all that to say that me personally, one of the reasons I picked up a 7-string guitar in the first place, which I play primarily, I dabble with 8 strings and I have them, I like them, but I am primarily a 7-string player at heart. But yeah, the reason I picked up a 7-string in the first place, part of it was because I didn't like the idea of tuning down. I was, for whatever reason, just in my younger days, here I am, in 10th, 11th, and 12th grade and everything, I just didn't like the idea of having to tune my guitar down. Because I wanted to be able to just pull out those Ozzy Osbourne riffs, those Megadeth riffs and everything, and play them in the right key and all that. I didn't really want to tune down. So along comes, I find out about Nevermore and Jeff Loomis, and he plays a 7-string guitar. I'm like, oh man, this stuff is ridiculous. And I'm like, all right, if I get another string that goes lower, I don't need to tune my guitar down. Pretty much every time you're on this channel, you're hearing me in half-step down tuning. If I play an 8-string, that's the only time I really do a drop tuning. So I do have E flat, B flat, E flat. That's the only time I really mess with a drop tuning is when I'm in an 8-string, because to me that adds something interesting there. Like keeping an 8-string fully standard, to me, yeah, that's when you start to hear those people that just chug on the 8-string or whatnot. And to me, it's no point. It's like, all right, now it's getting lower, but for what purpose? Having a dropped 8-string down there adds something interesting that I can do with it. No, all right, so that's my perspective that's my comment to people viewing YouTube channels. Don't be afraid if you see an 8-string or a 7-string guitar. Ultimately, if you like the person's playing, go with that. You can't really assume something about a person just by looking at the guitar they're gonna play. I'm quick to play freaking Kansas and everything on this guitar right here. Kansas, Pearl Jam stuff, Blue Oyster Cult. I love all that stuff, and I will very much play it on my half-step down tuned 8-string or 7-string, and that's no issue for me. I also view the 7 and 8-string guitars as a gateway for a lot of people to, if they open their mind up to it, it's just a whole nother world that you can explore. I remember the first time I picked up a 7-string and the first time I picked up an 8-string. The 7-string felt different, to be sure. It took me some time to get used to it, and I really just ignored that lowest string for a while. But before long, it was like, it just felt like a 6-string to me. Like, it felt normal. Now, a 6-string just feels tiny and it feels restricted to me. The 8-string still feels like it's kind of a whole different world. The first time I picked it up, I was like, what in the absolute heck is this? And of course, no, not everybody's going to gel with a 7 or 8-string guitar, but I encourage people to at least try it. Like, try a 7-string if you've never done it before. I can't personally see myself ever buying another 6-string for any reason. Like, it would have to be something very special, and I can't think of any reason that I would do that. Because, like I said, I can do anything on that would on a 6-string on a 7 or 8-string guitar. Maybe if I wanted to get into Floyd Roses, but I really, really don't see that happening either. But even then, you can do that on a 7-string too. But yeah, that's just kind of my little rant. If you have, I'm curious what your experience with extended range guitars has been, and if you have any questions about them, please feel free to ask them down in the comment section. I would love to start a conversation about this kind of stuff. But yeah, y'all take care.